Good morning, children. In previous class, we have completed activity 2. That activity 2 gives information about one type of principle. That principle is called as Fermat principle. What does this particular principle states for us? If we take a light ray traveling between 2 points, we are taken here point A as well as point B. In activity, we have seen that a smart probe to pick up the grains from the surface of the earth. Which distance it will take it up? It will take it a shortest path to pick up the grain, and from tree A, it had to fly up and pick the grain from the ground and go back to tree B there itself. We have seen clearly that smart probe always chooses a path which takes a least time to complete that particular, to pick the grain and move back to that particular tree. From that particular concept, activity 2, we can frame one law, that principle is nothing but what? Fermat principle, we can give it up. What does this particular Fermat principle states? It states about what? Example, light travels between 2 points. Let A be one point as well as B be one point. Between these 2 points, it will choose a path to travel which takes a least time. Less time if it is it will light ray will choose a path if it is incidentally at what point that light ray will be get moving within the least time. It can be get bounced back within the least time. That particular based upon that particular principle, what happens based upon a particular point, the light ray will be incidenting and reflecting back. That particular principle states nothing but what? Fermat principle. See here, A, C, B is one path, A, D, B is one path, A, E, B is another path. If you see these 3 paths, among these 3 paths, we have to know which is shortest path. To identify shortest path, we have to mention a duplicate path, duplicate point, so that whatever duplicate path has to be identified. If we identify duplicate path, among that a light ray will be traveling in the form of a straight line. That particular line indicates nothing but what? Shortest path. And it will take least time to complete to travel. Therefore, A, D, B is a light ray traveling in a path which takes the shortest time. That states Fermat principle. Yes, upon this particular principle, we can derive 2 laws. We can derive 1 law, 2 laws. One law is laws of reflection is one law. Other one is laws of refraction is another law. This laws of refraction is also called as one law. That law is called as Snell's law. We'll discuss about that particular Snell's law in 9th class. In higher classes we can study, but in our textbook at present we are having one concept. That concept is nothing but what? Laws of reflection. What are laws of reflection? We will be having 2 laws there itself. What are those laws? Let me check it out. To do that one, I have taken M dash is nothing but what? A reflecting surface called as plane mirror. I have taken a reflecting surface such that when the light ray is incidentally on the surface, it can be bounced back in the same direction. That is called as reflection of the light. So what happened? I am taking a reflecting surface. On that particular reflecting surface, what happens? The reflection of light ray at particular point always satisfy 2 laws. One point I am drawing it up, let that particular point be as O. And allow a light ray to be get incident at that particular point. The light ray which is passing, which is coming towards from object, the light ray which is passing, which is coming and incidentally on surface of reflecting surface, it is called as incident ray. When the incident ray is incidenting at one particular point, that point is called as O, which is called as point of incidence, which is also called as point of incidence. Means what happened? What does laws of reflection gives? It gives about 2 points. First one is the incident ray, reflected ray, normal ray lies in a same plane. That is first point there itself. PO is called as incident ray, QO is called as reflected ray, ON is called as normal ray. These 3 rays are existing in one plane itself only. That is in the upper surface itself only they are existing. That is first point of laws of reflection. Second point is what? The angle of incidence. Which what? This is the angle of incidence. And angle of reflection. Both are remaining as what? Same, equal. So this angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. This particular 2 points can be called as nothing but what? Laws of reflection. And to do this particular laws of reflection, within this particular diagram also, we can come across some more points there itself. First one is what? PO is called as incident ray. OR is called as reflected ray. ON is called as normal ray. Point O, where this particular point is, that is called as point of incidence. What is called as incident ray? Incident ray is nothing but what? When object is there, from the object, when the light ray is traveling towards the mirror, towards the reflecting surface at one particular point, incidenting on mirror at one particular point, that ray is called as nothing but what? Incident ray. Simultaneously, the ray which is bouncing back or moving away from reflecting surface, that ray is called as a reflected ray, we can call it up. Similarly, ON is nothing but what? Normal ray, means what? Exactly perpendicular, it can be get exist with an angle of 90 degrees. If you take the reflecting surface, from the reflecting surface, the angle of normal ray will be equal to 90 degrees. That ray is called as normal ray. And M dash is nothing but what? A reflecting surface. Here we are using a reflecting surface called as plane mirror. And here 2 more angles will be getting there itself. One is this angle, we can angle of incidence, which is called as angle of incidence. The light ray PON, the angle formed by incident ray and normal ray. Angle formed by incident ray and normal ray. What is the angle is forming? That is called as angle of incidence, or angle of incidence, we can give it up. And next angle, one more angle. Angle formed by reflected ray and normal ray. Angle formed by reflected ray and normal ray. What is the angle is forming? That angle is called as angle of reflection. And not only those 2 angles, more 2 angles are forming. With what? If you check it out, this M dash, this is called as what? Another angle. Angle is forming between incident ray and reflecting surface. That angle is called as glancing angle, we can call it up. Glazing angle, you can give it up. As it is forming with incident ray, GI I can indicate. What I can indicate? GI I can indicate the itself. Similarly, towards other surface also, if you check it out, here also with reflecting surface it is forming an angle. That angle is called as what? A glazing angle with a reflected ray surface, with a reflecting surface as well as reflected ray. That angle is called as glazing angle of reflected ray. And it is denoted with what? GR. These all are nothing but what? Some more points what we have to keep in our mind within the laws of reflection.